Hi, I'm Christy Ignash, and it is day 13 of my 30-day Be Inspired video challenge. Hooray, it's 13, I can't believe it. Yesterday I was sitting down thinking about, okay, what do I want to say in the rest of this 30-day challenge, because there are some specific posts, video blogs, vlogs that I want to make during this challenge. And as I started writing all these ideas down, I thought, wow, I think that you guys are going to be stuck with me for longer than 30 days because I have so much more to say. But I have, narrowed it down and figured it out, but I still want to be very just flowy with it. I want all of this to be fun and creative and easy. And so I did some of the writing down, but now it's just whatever comes out in the day is how I'm going to do it. So, because I just want it to be really authentic and really easy, and allowing that ease to be a part of this. So today I got some good news recently. We have potential buyers for our house in Michigan, and that's really exciting. We have been here in Texas for a couple years now, a little over 2 years, and we've had some renters there. And now just to think of, that phase of our life kind of, moving on, and that chapter officially kind of closing once we do sell the house. And it just gets me thinking about when we first moved up there and the story that goes with that. And so I wanted to share that with you because I think it's a pretty cool example of how you make things happen and you allow things to happen. And when you have a good combination of both, that really kind of gets you even farther in life than you even imagined. So my story starts a couple years before we moved. It was the summer and we were at Cedar Point. And some of you might know exactly where Cedar Point is, but Cedar Point is in Sandusky, Ohio, and it is a roller coaster amusement park. It's a super fun place. If you're, a kid from Michigan, you've been there every summer since you were big enough, to fit under the stick or whatever, high enough to ride this ride. And so we were in Cedar Point. We were at Cedar Point and we were getting in line for the Gemini, and I had on this Traverse City t-shirt, and somebody walked by and said, "Oh, Traverse City, that's such a great place. Do you live there?" And I was like, "No, but we hope to someday." And then I was like, wait, what? Who said that? Because I thought we hope to someday. Well, that's something that just kind of flew out of my mouth really easily. And, I loved it there, and we had visited there every summer for a while now. But I never really thought seriously that we hope to someday. And so I looked at Brad and I said, "We hope to someday." And he's like, "Yeah, I guess so." And we kind of laughed about it. And 2 years later, it was the spring, and I was getting ready to move on to my third school. I was in that spot in my district where I was the odd teacher in place. Like, they would need me for the odd number of first grade this year, and then they'd need me for the odd number of second grade next year. And I just kind of got moved around and bumped around, and then I switched schools, and then I was there a couple years, and then I was getting ready to move on to my third school. So I was getting ready to pack up my whole classroom and move on to a new grade too. I was going to go to third grade for the first time. And, I was like, okay, this is all right, but again, I kept on being that one that was, shuffled around every year. And I kind of thought, well, I wonder why this has to be, my path. Why don't I get to just be in a spot and stay there for a while? And now I know why, because I was meant to move on. But anyway, I had just finished my master's, and I was packing up my whole classroom, and our neighbors had a terrible police episode next door. We had 3 teenage boys that lived next door to us, and they were in trouble all the time, and that was getting old, and we were definitely ready to move into a nicer area. It definitely was starting to think about when we were going to get to have a family, and how that was all going to come together. And I don't know, I started looking online at houses up in Traverse City up north. And so one weekend we just said, well, let's just go up there and see what we see. So we went, we met with an agent, we looked all around, and we found this house that was not even done being built yet. It was on an acre lot, and it had this just magnificent tree line. These just giant tall pine trees that lined the edge of the property. And God, I still wonder how old those were. Those were so beautiful. And it just smelled like beach up there and water, and it's just so beautiful and awesome. And you know, the house was, you know, just, it was brand new for one, which was great because we were going from a fixer-upper and a, you know, very old house that needed a lot of work. And so it was new, and it was nestled in this perfect little spot, and it was a nice little quiet neighborhood. And so we're like, wow, you know, we really like that place. So we drove away, and we were chit-chatting for a while, and we went and had something to eat, and we were like, well, you know, let's just see if we can find it again. If we find it, we'll buy it. Hee hee. And we kind of laughed. So we found it again. And they were like, well, I guess maybe that means that we got to buy it now or whatever. So, so we did. We just decided, just like that, kind of on a crazy whim, to just do it. We didn't even think about it, which maybe we're crazy. I don't know. Maybe we are. But we just, and I wasn't scared. I just knew it was time, and I'm so glad that I have a husband who we can just kind of hold hands and close our eyes and jump in and just know that we're gonna make it happen. So, you know, we put a bid on this house, we got this house, we're gonna do this house. We, in the meantime, still did not have jobs. And again, kind of less crazy, but I don't know, for some reason I just figured, well, we'll find jobs. We'll do whatever we have to. We'll figure this whole thing out. We're going to do this. We're going to make this. We're moving. And so we put our house on the market. We started looking for jobs, and there was a job that came up at the ISD for a literacy consultant. And when I first looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect for me. And then for like a half a second, I went, oh, but can I handle all that? Like I was thinking maybe like a district consultant job, or, you know, even maybe a school consultant kind of job, because I was thinking about heading in that direction anyway. But to be at the ISD level and be, you know, serving all these districts, you know, I was a little bit like, wow, am I prepared for that? And started looking into it more, and I suddenly became obsessed with this job. I wanted to learn everything that I could about it. I wanted to learn all about the things that were going on in Michigan for literacy and reading and writing, and all the different trainings that were available. And I just knew that this was my job. This was my shot. This was my opportunity. And so I pretty much said, okay, let's do this. On August 16th, I got an interview with them. I had my first interview with them. I had it in the morning at like noon or 1 o'clock or something. We closed on our house. So I had the interview. I didn't have the job yet, but we had a house now. And it was the day before my birthday. My birthday is August 17th. So we joked, we're like, oh, you know, we bought me a house for my birthday. And I actually got a second interview. I don't know, I think it was a couple weeks after that. And, you know, I was planning to move. We were packing, we were getting everything ready. And I got hired. I got the job. And we moved, me, up north. And Brad, we had Brad stay home for a while. We had some home repairs and things that still needed to be done with the old house. We got the city inspection that had the dude that made 3 pages long of things that we needed to fix, even though those were all things that were left by the previous owner. But they didn't own the house for very long, so they didn't have to do that inspection, so whatever. So we had some things to take care of before he could move. And, you know, we did the weekend thing, and I was at my new job, and things were going really great, but, you know, we still needed him up there. And you know, I just remember being in that house, and, you know, it was only half full of, you know, some of our stuff. And one morning I had to make it to a training up in Petoskey, which is about I think it's like 2.5-ish hours away, 2.5 hours away. Can't even remember now. It's only been a few years, but so that night it snowed like crazy. So just to get out of my driveway, I got up at like 4 in the morning. I put on as many layers as I could find, and because I wasn't used to all that snow, and I used like a garden shovel to like through all the snow to make a path for my car, because I was so afraid I was going to get stuck in the snow and Brad wasn't there. So so that was an adventure, but I did it, and it was amazing. It's up north when it's snowing and it's so dark and there's not that many lights. We didn't have any street lights or anything. All you see is this amazing dark, dark sky with these bright, bright stars everywhere. And I remember, you know, just stopping while I was shoveling that snow with the garden shovel, and just thinking like, what an amazing moment that was, what an amazing time, and how exciting I get to be there. And then I heard like a coyote or something, and I got really scared and I ran in the house after that. But anyway, so, you know, Brad was still at home and we were doing the weekend back and forth thing, and then we just got to the point where we were like, okay, well, enough's enough. You know, we finished the house repairs, or he did finish the house repairs. It's time for you to just come, you know, move up north with us, you know, quit your job that you have there. We're just going to have to take our chances. You need to be up north. And he went to quit his job, and it was a sales job. And so what he expected was for them to say, okay, well, you know, you don't need to finish out the 2 weeks, just, you know, finish the rest of the week or finish the day or finish whatever, and, you know, that'll be it. Well, they were like, no, we really want you to stay the 2 weeks. So I was like, well, okay, you know, I definitely want to leave on good terms. This is a good job. These are good people, and, you know, I can do that. So he did his job and kept working. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, he's like, okay, well, you know, I guess it's time to go. And they were like, oh, well, you know, hey, wait a second. I don't know. Did you know that we have an office up in Traverse City? And we were like, no, we didn't. You do? And they said, yeah, well, it's a 3-person office. So literally only 3 people work there. And it just so happened that one of them was leaving, one of them was moving, and a spot was open for Brad. So they offered him that position up north. So it was just basically like a transfer. And I still can't believe that happened in a way. I still can't believe how perfectly that all fell into place, because we literally, I don't know, it almost seems like it was a whim. But when I think about, you know, all the different things that were happening and the thoughts we were having, and how we just knew that we knew we wanted to be up there, and we knew that we loved it, and we knew we wanted a different kind of life, and we knew we were ready. And then you know, and I definitely know that I was praying, and we were praying, and you know, hoping that things would work out, but we acted, we moved, we just did it. And because we acted on that faith, things that were even bigger than either of us could have imagined came into play and fell into place for us. And, you know, it wasn't all easy. There were definitely, you know, obstacles, like I said, that whole repair thing and just whatever. But, you know, we kept doing it. We kept moving forward. And, like I said, it all just kind of fell into place, and we were there, and it was awesome, and we were just so excited and so happy that it all, you know, it all came together like that. And so, you know, there's lots and lots of things to learn from that. And I guess, you know, one of the big things is definitely the be ready to take action when your opportunity comes, because, you know, you never know how great it's going to be if you just, you know, take that leap and go for it. And then the other is that, you know, sometimes when we're stuck in a place in our lives that we don't like and that we want to change, it's hard for us to realize that, you know, it's knowing that we don't want this or we don't like this helps us know what we do want and what we do like. And knowing that, you know, having that fixer-upper house was really expensive. It was really a lot more, you know, there were so many things breaking and, you know, we didn't want that anymore. We knew we wanted something new. We knew, you know, we wanted an attached garage. We knew, you know, we wanted more land. We knew the certain things that we wanted. And without having, you know, the contrast in the old house, you know, we wouldn't have learned that as specifically. So just a couple things to think about, and you know, I'm always looking for those lessons, and for me there were many, but those are two of the big things that just kind of stick out to me with that one. And I think that's it. This one was kind of long tonight, so thanks for sticking with me. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you have any stories or things that you want to share, please, I would love to hear from you. So just let me know. See you tomorrow. Have a great one. Mwah.